The amount of stuff you can get away with if you're attractive is literally so insane, and everyone talks about women pretty privilege, but no one ever talks about guy pretty privilege.
I am a menace. Keep me around.
What's good, YouTube? Back here with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Also follow me on Instagram, follow me on my Twitch, and if you want to see gaming reactions,
I got one of them goddamn legs over here. Here you go.
you can follow me on my main channel. Let's get into it.
I always appreciate it when women understand the different ways that they treat different types of men.
Nah, that's crazy.
Guy, pretty privileged.
Nah, that's crazy. How he just casually just eliminates majority of people.
Privilege is another word for hypergamy. So first of all, I'd like to thank her for noticing. And second of all, I have a few stories for you to try to encourage you to maybe move up a few notches if possible. But first, listen to how she understands. It's therapeutic.
I think if the unattractive guys tried to do the things that attractive guys did to girls, they would be called out for harassment.
Yeah, exactly.
Duh.
This girl from an old video said, don't catcall me unless you're attractive. And then she said it was a joke, which means it's kind of true.
But if an attractive guy did what unattractive guys did, it would be considered cute.
This is where my stories come in. I did some not very cute things that went over just fine.
I feel like attractive guys have kind of like a act like an asshole card that they could use whenever they want because they have a pretty face, and they have unlimited ways on how to hit on women without being a creep.
Yeah, you can say quite a wide range of things and it will be okay.
I ain't gonna lie, if a girl finds you attractive enough, bro, you can say the most outlandish, dastardly shit to her, and she gonna sit there and laugh and think that shit funny as hell. like real live. Like, you could say the craziest shit, like some shit that'll get you sent 30 years in prison, and they be laughing at that shit, eating that shit the fuck up.
But only as long as she feels like this about you. This is a drawing of me when I was at my most attractive, and a relationship that I had during that time where I did nothing and she did more than she should have. This is a timeline of that relationship. I had a crush on this girl when I was 11, and she pretty much ignored me until after college when I lost weight and got in shape. And she sent me a suggestive message on Facebook where she saw my pictures, and we began a certain kind of relationship. And eventually, she let me know that she had been cheating on a different guy with me. And I said, well, that's a bad idea. You should probably either have a boyfriend or have fun, and you should pick one. And so she did. She got rid of him and said, now we can be together. And I said, well, that's not part of the deal.
Wow, why would I want to be with you and you was cheating on your boyfriend with me? The fuck you mean? Nah, if people need to learn that the way you get them is the way you're gonna lose them. Like, you can't,
This guy's just gonna be me later. And
Thanks.
she said, oh, darn, and continued seeing me anyway. And also, I had no money and she had money, so she paid for everything while I continued to see other girls on the side. That's how much difference this can make. If you can cross this line, you're gonna experience quite a big power differential.
Unattractive guys have to be more slow about it. They have to be more nonchalant and sneaky about hitting on a girl.
Sneaky, okay, we used to call that getting to know someone. When you're familiar with somebody, it becomes easier to create that bond. And maybe you as an individual
I ain't gonna lie, this man could draw. Like all aside from the video, this man can draw. Cause like, I can't draw for none of this shit. I can't. This shit looks so clean and organized. I couldn't do none of that shit.
work your way out of it. But you can't have everyone works their way out of it. Because if they did, and everybody became more attractive, women would just reevaluate this into another one of these. There would be 80% of the guys who made it would be reevaluated into the didn't make it zone. And those guys have no choice. They have to get familiar with women first. Otherwise, they just get completely left out. And that's why the world is looking more and more like this. People don't get to know each other anymore, And if you try, women will call it sneaky. That's the one thing she said that I didn't like.
They also can't be arrogant and rude, where a lot of attractive guys get away with being rude.
That's me. I used to be rude. I was so bitter after I found
I ain't gonna lie, she kind of spit with that one. I'm not gonna lie, she kind of spit with that right there. But nah, I mean it. I think it also depends on the person too, and like what they been through. It's like I think for guys more so, guys have always been taught like from a young age. Boys are taught how to treat women and girls. Boys are taught that. It's not until they grow up and then see firsthand experiences of what like women will deal with and who they choose that's when they start being rude. Like they don't naturally be rude to them because they're taught not to be rude to them most time. But you might find that you might have that one dude that is an asshole to every single female, saying the most disrespectful shit ever, and he over there clapping all the cheeks, and you sitting there being Mr. Nice, trying to go on dates, buy flowers, all types of shit, and you just getting friends on all left, right, and center. So then eventually you're just gonna pick up like, hey, look, fuck it, I'm gonna be that guy, and then you gonna be that guy, and you gonna be the one to clap the cheeks.
found out the difference between how people treat you when you move from here to here, that I actually made a game out of what is the rudest thing that I can say to someone who I know already likes me before she doesn't like me anymore, and I never found it. I wrote a few of them down, but I don't feel safe showing you. I played other games too. I once met a girl on the computer. I went to her place 3 times without ever telling her my name. And then on my way out the door the 3rd time, I said, "Are you gonna ever ask me my name or what?" And she said, "I didn't want to offend you." Like I was gonna say, "Whoa, you're moving a little fast, aren't we?" No, I'm not encouraging any of this behavior. This is degenerate. The only reason I did it is because I was bitter, because I couldn't be liked without being likable. I didn't want to put in the work to get out of this area, and when I finally did, I still felt like this on the inside, and I said, "Oh, now it's my turn to do this to someone else." And that's not what we need more of. That kind of stuff just goes back.
It's not what we need more of, but at the same time, I also think it's not up to men per se, which is gonna sound crazy, but like let me explain. It's not up to men because men do not decide what behaviors is tolerated and what's not. Men simply just view what's going on, view what's being tolerated, and adjust accordingly. So really, women set the market on that. If women decided today collectively that, oh, we're not gonna give the goods up unless you marry us, and they stand on it, men have no other choice but to pivot and move accordingly. If you just freely like, okay, if you're attractive enough or you got enough money, I give it up to you, then we're not gonna sit there and be like, oh well, we need to commit. No, we're just gonna do the bare minimum to the point of what we can get. But like I said, that comes with the expectations and the bar that women set, because truth be told, whatever they accept is what's going to be the bar.
Back into the dating pool and makes everybody more miserable and harder to deal with.
Now, the difference between an attractive guy and an attractive girl is like so different. An attractive girl, sometimes like they don't get guys. They get rejected because people get jealous of them, or they're really intimidated, or they're jealous. And it's just really hard to be an attractive girl. But for an attractive guy, literally it's like living on the red carpet with silver platters of opportunities handed to you constantly.
Well, not job opportunities. This was roughly my attractive era from here to here, and this was my net worth. And then I had nothing, and now I have internet money. But yeah, she's not wrong. This is an easier position in the market than this. It's easier to get what you want. Now, I wish we could get away from this.
Yeah, it's easier to get what you want in that position, but it's harder to be in that position, like, per se. Now, don't get me wrong, like at the tops, it's always gonna be hard to get to the tops because just percentage wise. But like, if you're still a woman that's anywhere from a 6 and up, you can still get a lot of shit, right? You can still live life on easy. It's gonna be significantly harder for a guy to be a 7, 8, 9, or 10. Like, a lot of that has to come with genetics, and then your circumstances in life, and also how much money you got, all types of stuff. Like there's a lot more factors that go into it.
App style of dating and back to the classics, but I don't know how we're going to do that. This might even get worse. At least people are starting to get it. But for now, if you are not working on yourself, you are potentially giving up a lot of power. Just don't misuse it when you get it, or you'll eventually turn into me, but without the internet money.
To Morocco, I got pretty women showing titties like I'm Flocko. I came in a hard top, I'm still in the drop.